Nicki Minaj came out as a based and red-pilled MAGA supporter over the weekend, guys. And, you know, she had dropped some hints over the years. First, I'll mention, she is a vaccine skeptic. She once tweeted about an experience that she heard from the friend of her cousin from Trinidad, whose balls swelled up to some insane degree after he got a vaccine. So she was saying that to offer, you know, her 2 cents about the vaccine mandate debate.
I remember after that happened, Luke, when Luke used to stay at the castle, he had an RV and he had a Nicki Minaj flag.
Yes, there is this
the American
famous flag of her giving
it's on our thumbnail.
The 07. Yeah. So a lot of people get that mixed up. She wasn't talking about her cousin from Trinidad. No, it was the friend of her cousin from Trinidad who had the swollen balls, just for the record. And then on top of that, she also was very complimentary of Ben Shapiro when he made his debut as a rapper, which a lot of people thought was a dog whistle. She was praising him for that.
In my heart of hearts, she loves Michael Knowles.
She's the queen of rap, so she gets to decide who is included in the pantheon.
See, it's funnier though if she's like into Andrew Clavin.
She's like the biggest Andrew Clavin fan.
Like that to me is like
real.
You want to stand out. You don't want to be just
the
into the big
choice.
Yeah, you don't want to be just into the big names. Like anybody can like Ben Shapiro because everybody's heard of him. Right. Anybody could even like Matt Walsh because he's so controversial all the time. It takes a real politico to like Andrew Clavin when you're not part of, you know, Andrew Clavin's got a big he's got a big platform, but he's also still very much just in the political space. You want to be the rapper who's into Andrew Clavin.
So I should really get to the point, shouldn't I? Nicki Minaj responded to Donald Trump's recent Truth Social post about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. He said Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I'm hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern, but this is the least of it. When Christians or any group is slaughtered like this is happening in Nigeria, something must be done. I'm asking Congressman Riley Moore, friend of Timcast, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee to immediately look into this matter. So he put out this statement, and Nicki Minaj found it particularly touching because she responded on her own X saying, "Reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. Numerous countries all around the world are being affected by this horror, and it's dangerous to pretend we don't notice. Thank you to the president and his team for taking this seriously. God bless every persecuted Christian. Let's remember to lift them up in prayer." So I think this is a relatively bipartisan issue, right? Like, you shouldn't be killed for practicing your faith. It doesn't seem that politically charged. It shouldn't be.
No, that's the problem. It is. And I'll tell you why. Because everything in politics now is whataboutism.
And ask any American leftist, they genuinely don't believe any Christians on the globe are persecuted.
Yeah.
Because they're ignorant and willfully so. And of course, just the fact that she said anything positive about Trump really set people off, including a lot of her own fans. The Barbs. Her fan base is referred to as the Barbed, is short for Barbies, I believe. And now she's starting this campaign to make America gag again. Michael Knowles said the Barbs are vindicated yet again. George Santos replied saying, "I want the record to reflect I was the first Barb elected to Congress and named a whole bill after Nicki Minaj, the Minaj Act of 2023. Thank you for coming full circle and for joining the fight for global peace."
That was George Santos?
Yeah.
See, you see the problem with this is, I'll tell you why. Because this happens every so often. Something happens in Hollywood, a celebrity dies, or something bad happens, and you know who comes out and says something is Woody Allen. And you're like, okay, that's the publicity you don't want. Like when Woody Allen comes out and he's like, he was a great guy, his passing will be felt by many. It's like, just, you could help this person by not sharing your opinion.
Right. And also help yourself. You know.
George Santos, you know, friend of, I guess, the company, not of the channel, but you met George Santos.
Perfectly nice person.
Maybe, you know, given his...
And he does admit fault for what he did, to be fair, and he expresses remorse for his crimes.
Point being that, maybe he's not the best
endorsement.
co-signal.
Maybe not the best character witness. Yeah. And then Mike Waltz responded to Nicki saying, "Thank you for using your platform to speak out in defense of Christians being persecuted. We cannot allow this to continue. Every brother and sister of Christ must band together and say enough. If you ever find yourself in New York, come by the U.S. Embassy to United Nations. I would love to speak with you more in depth about what our administration is doing to protect Christians' freedoms all over the world." And she said, "I would be honored. Thank you, Ambassador." So, needless to say, this set a lot of her fans into a complete outrage. They believed that she was anti-Trump for all these years, and I want to show video evidence of that from, I think this was probably in the late 2010s during Trump's first term. She was asked about Donald Trump by a member of the paparazzi.
Donald Trump?
No thoughts. Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I voted for him actually.
Oh yeah? What do you like about him?
I wanted to bring the job back to America.
And what country are you from?
From America.
So yeah, maybe she was throwing shade, but I think to see that and assume that she's anti-Trump is bold. Because really, she said she just doesn't have any thoughts to share on him.
Also, depending on how long ago that was, like, bro, we've lived like 5 lifetimes since the late 2010s.
Oh, yeah. And, I think that Nicki probably just was making the calculated move to not get into the political arena at the time.
And let's face it, whenever this stuff happens, the conservatives come out of the woodwork. Like, you know what?
I
always like the cut of her jib.
Of Nicki Minaj's jib.
It's the
whatever her jib is or wherever it is.
You're so much better off just not like never. I literally just saw somebody the word never plant your flag for any celebrity because they will disappoint you in some way, shape, or form. You can address what they say, but never use anything positive they say as some type of affirmation that your subtle thoughts that they might be cool as a good thing, because people are a lot more complex than 1 or 2 thoughts on 1 or 2 topics. They're bound to disappoint you eventually.
Right. Even Cardi B was outspoken complaining about the state of the country and the economy during Biden's years, but then happily endorsed the Democrat Party in 2024. So you can't vie for their affirmation. But Nicki Minaj has now responded to a lot of the criticism from her fans after praising Trump. And here's what she said. "Imagine hearing that Christians are being persecuted and not being able to have empathy for them because you're blinded by your own personal obsession with Trump. This is more about you than him, my darling. Blocked." And then she followed up to another fan saying, saying, "Nicki, as a diehard fan who genuinely sticks beside you through every single scandal," you shouldn't, "you cozying up to this effing loser, I might have to tap out. We live in a country that wants to weaponize religion. So your gay fans can be persecuted." And here's what she said to that fan. Imagine, this was her responding to this fan twice. "Imagine hearing that Christians are being murdered and making it about you being gay. When my home was swatted multiple times with my innocent toddler inside, with maybe 20 officers with guns drawn pointed at our home due to political corruption, you being gay couldn't save me." And it is true that Nicki Minaj's home has been swatted 3 times, I believe, in the last 2 years due to fraudulent calls to law enforcement. I don't know what she's talking about in regard to political corruption. It just sounds like you're famous and people hate you and they're doxing you.
Yeah.
But she said, "You being gay couldn't save me. Expecting someone to stay oppressed, abused, targeted, harassed, and consistently ignored by public figures who were supposed to be helping them says more about you than it does anyone else. I'll advocate for you the same way that I'm advocating for murdered Christians. Like I always have. Just remember that. Diligently, compassionately. Just remember that part too. And I know you're not a diehard fan. Let me think about if I want to block you for the next 10 to 15 minutes. Love you." So she's remaining unbothered in the midst of all of this chaos.
Yeah.
And similarly to what you said about George Santos not being the best person to witness your character, I believe Nicki Minaj is not the best person to get an endorsement from either, given her own track record and personal life. I'll mention again, since we have covered this on the show, her husband, Kenneth Petty, is a registered sex offender. He was convicted of first-degree attempted rape of a 16-year-old girl, for which he served a 4-year prison term in New York. And following that, he was put on probation, a 3-year-long probation, which he violated by posting a threatening video directed at Offset, saying that he was going to be planning Offset's funeral. That led to a violation of his probation, which is unrelated to his house arrest. He was put on house arrest because he failed to re-register as a sex offender in California. And not only that, Nicki Minaj has also been vocally supportive of her brother, who is also a convicted rapist. Mm-hmm. She actually was present at, or rather, she offered a letter at the sentencing of her brother in 2016, pleading for the judge to give him a lighter sentence, saying that he is the most patient, gentle, genuine, giving, selfless man she knows. He was convicted of serially raping his 11-year-old stepdaughter. Yeah. She paid for his $100,000 bail and supported him during his trial because I guess family loyalty supersedes morality for a lot of people, celebrities or not. I find that disgusting. Yeah. I don't think that she's some sort of moral paragon. It's nice that she is offering support to Christians who are being persecuted and killed for their faith, and I appreciate that at least, but maybe not the best celebrity to have in the Trump corner, you know?
Yeah, and that's one of those, like, a lot of people don't know about that story or anything that's going on.
Yeah, a lot of people have not really dug up those details.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to be suspicious of her.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.